It's International Literacy Day 2017. Jamaica joins other countries in celebrating the 51st commemoration of this very important day, promoting the significance of literacy in the development and advancement of all nations. Here at home, in keeping with the Education Ministry's mantra, every child can learn, every child must learn, schools were encouraged to use the day as a national initiative to promote reading and literacy across Jamaica. On today's edition of Jamaica Magazine, we delve into the job functions of a literacy specialist. Plus, it has proven to be a thunderous hurricane season. We see how Jamaica is preparing for the unpredictable. This is Jamaica Magazine, and I am Adrian Atkinson. Stay with us.
Hurricanes can strike at any time. In the event of one, be prepared to act quickly. If a hurricane watch or warning has been issued, review your home disaster response plan. Map out likely routes to evacuate if your home is at risk and confirm with relatives or friends you plan to stay with. Also, confirm the location of the nearest shelter. Check your emergency supplies and restock if necessary. Remember, disasters do happen, so be prepared.
Good day, I'm Lorraine Mendez, and this is your JIS News for Friday, September 8. Government has received a $2.56 billion investment loan from the Inter-American Development Bank to improve access to financing for micro, small and medium enterprises, MSMEs. The money is to replenish the existing Capital Enhancement Facility, CEF, which is administered by the Development Bank of Jamaica, the DBJ. Through the CEF, DBJ provides partial credit guarantees for approved financial institutions to provide loans to MSMEs.
This program is particularly important to the sector as it provides a platform for the development of new and creative industries and increase the number of new entrants into the sector by reducing the upfront capital requirements for startups and strengthening the capital base for existing players.
The CEF covers up to 90% of the amount of an individual MSME loan, not exceeding $385,000 for a period of up to 10 years. It's accessible to persons engaged in agriculture and agribusiness, construction, business services, energy, manufacturing, retail, tourism, trade, and distribution. Jamaica is among 6 countries that will benefit from an additional $833,000 Canadian dollars in financial support for the monitoring and evaluation of drug treatment courts. Councillor and Head of Development Cooperation at the Canadian High Commission in Jamaica, Walter Bernick, made the announcement during this week's regional workshop on drug treatment courts. The additional funding, which is to be provided over the next 2 years, will also help the countries to consider options related to juvenile treatment courts and community courts.
As you move forward, I'd like to encourage you to continue focusing on interventions that need to be adapted to address the needs of women and young people.
Other countries benefiting from the Canadian government's assistance are Barbados, Costa Rica, Trinidad and Tobago, Panama, and the Dominican Republic. In Jamaica, drug treatment courts are designed to provide judicial supervision to drug-dependent offenders who have consented to participate in the program. Justice Minister Delroy Chuck says they strike the right balance between holding individuals accountable and helping them to do better and be better human beings.
Drug addicts and drug offenders need a support base that is consistent to chart a new way forward with their lives. Most drug addicts and drug offenders want to do better, and with the right support, most of them will gladly accept the interventions that include them, give them a voice, and do not give up on them.
An agreement has been signed for farmers in bauxite areas to grow medicinal plants on mined-out lands. The agreement was signed this week between the Jamaica Bauxite Institute and Timeless Herbal Care, an international nutraceutical and pharmaceutical company. Under the Memorandum of Understanding, the JBI will provide technical training for farmers in the growing of the crops. The farmers will sell their yields at market value to Timeless Herbal Care, which will extract the medicinal contents for the various markets that they serve. The plants to be cultivated are guinea hen weed, moringa, black castor bean, and medical cannabis. Mining Minister Mike Henry says the partnership will offer major economic benefits for the farmers.
They're all worldwide sought plants because the nutraceutical value is immense. But it's very important that farmers understand that they'll have to improve the skills of producing these plants to the internationally accepted standards.
Timeless Herbal's CEO, Courtney Betty, says the initiative is about nation building.
It's about education, it's about working with communities, it's about developing Jamaica's natural plants or nutraceutical plants, which are so valuable and to date we've not been able to take advantage of. It's about bringing partnerships, international partnerships.
Residents of 3 communities in St. Mary are now closer to having electricity in their homes following a lighting project by the National Energy Solutions Limited. Nessol spent approximately $20 million to install LED streetlights in Shooter, Charlottenburg, and Riverside Drive in Richmond. It means the 136 householders who've benefited from the project can now wire their homes and apply to the Jamaica Public Service Company for domestic power supply. At the lighting ceremony in Richmond, Energy Minister Dr. Andrew Wheatley said that, among other things, it would improve the lives of children who can now stay up late to study if necessary.
And so tonight, by commissioning the electrical infrastructure in these 3 communities here, it speaks to our commitment to ensure that we do more than talk, we deliver.
And finally, the Technology Minister has assured residents of Richmond St. Mary that work is progressing on plans to establish a community access point in the area.
We have approved that community access point, and within a couple of weeks you will be seeing the team from the Universal Service Fund coming into the community, putting in the infrastructure.
Asserting that more was being done to support education in the parish, the minister says another of his agencies, Petrojam, recently donated $1.8 million to build a chemistry lab at the St. Mary Technical High.
We have to ensure that we create an educated society that can think outside of the box.
And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Lorraine Mendez. Thanks for watching.
International Literacy Day is an opportunity for government, civil society and other stakeholders to highlight improvements in world literacy rates and to reflect on the remaining challenges. The issue of literacy is very important in order for nations to grow and compete. Next, we highlight the role of a literacy specialist.
Let's try to put those together. Again. What's that word? Pops. Pops. Call that word. Pops. Call the word. Pops. This word says pops. All right.
Michina Colson is a school-based literacy coordinator for the Ministry of Education.
Oh, this is my passion.
And that is usually the case for just about everyone who pursues this particular career path.
You have to be committed. You have to be patient. To treat with reading problems is not easy, right? But you have to be committed to the task.
A literacy specialist, sometimes called a reading specialist, is an educator who helps students develop their literacy skills.
And we talk about literacy skills, we're talking about writing, oral language or speaking, listening, and critical thinking. You take a clinical approach to teaching. So there you treat with the difficulties, reading difficulties, writing difficulties, and all of that.
We work on the words and then we go to the actual reading. So it's a step-by-step process I also used guided reading, where I would read along with them. I would guide them into reading.
We also have those students who are performing above, and so the job of the literacy specialist is to provide enrichment programs so you know how to treat with those students as well.
We tie in with the regular classes through consultation as well as through observation of what the children are doing and so on. Come on, he forgot. Remember that word from this board. Let's read again. He forgot. Stay up.
Persons who take on this job are expected to have taken a number of post-secondary courses that focus specifically on literacy or reading education. A bachelor's or master's degree may be necessary.
You have different tertiary institutions that you can go. I know the Jamaica University, they have a lot of reading programs, they offer a lot of reading programs, and also degree in literacy in reading. And the University of the West Indies, they also have a bachelor's course in literacy studies and a master's course as well, and you can do that face-to-face or online. And I think Monique Teachers College, they have a literacy program there as well.
As long as the school or program you choose is accredited, your certification should also work in other countries. But
you need to, however, learn the culture of the places that you go to, because with literacy, you have to really teach it according to culture.
And locally or overseas, there is a solid demand for literacy specialists.
Yes, there are. And the schools, especially the primary schools and even the high schools, they have a high demand for literacy specialists.
Earning potential is also good, with local jobs attracting as much as 7-figure salaries and comparable numbers overseas.
So it's very lucrative.
So that I can give back really to my community, to my area, in whatever way I can. And this is my little way of doing that.
First and foremost, I have a passion. I have a love for reading, a passion for literacy. I love to help people, I love to help students. And one of my major success is getting a child who don't even know letter sounds. And at the end of a year or at the end of even 6 months, that child can read even a paragraph, and that is satisfying for me.
This word says what? Fox. This word says fox. That's 2 animals already we see in the story, right? Good job, wow.
Literacy is a bridge from misery to hope. It is a bulwark against poverty and a building block of development. Literacy is the road to human progress and the means through which every man, woman, and a child can realize his or her full potential.
Yo, this is We're committed to reducing the impact of disasters occurring in Jamaica. We're ever ready to assist you before, during, and after a disaster. But everybody have a role to play, so make we work together and follow the plan. Whether rich or poor or where you come from, hurricanes affect everyone, so be prepared. Prevention is better than cure. Be prepared. Listen to OPM. A message from the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management.
Hurricane Irma is wreaking havoc across the Caribbean, causing deaths and destruction among our neighbors. Sadly, there are 2 other systems in the Atlantic Ocean, Jose and Katia. While we watch with sympathy and organize how best to help our neighbors, we too must prepare, as the nation may get a hit at any time. Take a look at this.
If forecasters are right, expect some amount of this weather during the hurricane season. State agencies with responsibility for disaster management have already primed all departments to be ready if a tropical system decides to come our way.
The National Disaster Organization, I need to assure you all, is ready for all adversities.
Jamaicans must prepare for above normal activity for the 2017 Atlantic hurricane season, which runs until November 30. The National Hurricane Center, based in the United States of America, is predicting 11 to 17 named storms. 5 to 9 of them could develop into hurricanes, and 2 to 4 of those are expected to be Category 3 or stronger. The Meteorological Service of Jamaica is in accordance with the prediction.
Forecast for this year compares favorably with what we experienced last year and suggests that this 2017 season will be either a normal or a bit above normal one in terms of its tropical cyclone activity.
The forecast does not indicate how many of these systems will or could be a threat to Jamaica. Even more reason to be prepared.
And our recent memory will tell us that just one surface trough is able to inflict damage of over $2 billion and destroy livelihoods. We must ensure that we prepare ourselves for the worst.
The prediction is out and state agencies are heeding the warning. The Ministry of Local Government and Community Development is leading the charge, working with first responders and parish authorities.
In terms of our readiness and preparedness, we have a cadre of 300 social workers and record officers across all 14 parishes who are now on alert. The team has gone through sensitization sessions in relation to post-disaster registration and assessment of victims, how to conduct assessments, how to complete the assessment forms and emergency relief application forms, and shelter inspection forms. 200 of our social workers are trained in first aid and cardiopulmonary resuscitation, CPR, across all 14 parishes. All our parish managers, administrators, and social workers are assigned a phone in the closed user group, thus allowing for direct contact and communication island-wide. In respect of our emergency supplies, the ministry has increased the stock at our warehouse. We're currently procuring additional supplies, food and comfort items for the hurricane season. We have MOUs in place with suppliers in all parishes for credit of emergency supplies to be activated as the need arises. We have transportation identified and the fleet of vehicles are serviced and ready for deployment. Our welfare and shelter plan is in activation mode, and our shelter inspection, we have completed 700 of the 900 shelters island-wide. Those have been inspected to ensure that the distribution of supplies can be accommodated therein.
The Ministry of Health, another critical state organ, has also completed training and is on standby if a disaster occurs.
The ministry has over the last 6 months made some strides in ensuring that our health facilities are resilient to disasters and will be able to continue to function during and after disasters at optimum capacity.
Long before June 1, the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, OPM, conducted critical consultations with various stakeholders.
We've had public education and training at several communities across the island, schools and other institutions, places of business, and even places of worship. Simulation exercises have been conducted, specialized training for first responders, mitigation studies concluded and others commenced, improvement of response and contingency plans, and the improvement of internal operation processes at the OPM.
The Meteorological Service of Jamaica is improving its method of communicating with the public. This includes the use of social media and text messages for the dissemination of weather alert messages.
You will also eventually be getting your warning messages in graphical imagery, where you can also see color coding as to whether it is an immediate warning or a long-term warning. So you will be seeing that as we roll out this hurricane season.
The administration is determined to create and maintain a momentum of urgency in the public's mind about hurricane preparedness.
We, as a government, working with the various entities, will continue to ensure that the country is prepared for any possible eventuality that may arise during the season.
Lives first, property nets.
Nutritious food, succulent dishes, superior workmanship, and excellent service. Jamaica is on the go. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Let's harness the indomitable spirit of our most valued resource, our people. Let's support our local businesses. After all, buying Jamaican means building Jamaica.
Original.
Getting farmers to produce more, adopting best practice methods, and becoming more efficient and sustainable. The Ministry of Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries has aligned itself with partners to grow the agriculture sector. One of those partners is the World University Service of Canada, WUSC Caribbean. They have been providing resources and technical support to small and medium-scale producers in order to boost agricultural outputs in 5 targeted crops. These are Irish and sweet potato, onion, ginger, and sweet yam. The work is being done through the promotion of regional opportunities for produce through Enterprises and Linkages Propel project. The 5-year project, which started in 2013, also provides assistance to establish market linkages.
We want holistic, integrated approaches between all the different actors in the marketplace. Propel as a support entity, helping farmers to produce and also to produce quality products, has helped us as a marketing company to be able to push marketable goods into the supermarkets, the wholesales, into the restaurant areas, into food service, in hotel industry.
We are targeting a total of 5,000 farmers in Jamaica by the end of the project. We are very close to 3,000 and we are profiling all those farmers. By the end of March next year, we hope to have about 3,500, and by 2018, when we leave, about 5,000.
Jamaica is one of 5 Caribbean countries where the $1.9 billion project is being implemented. The others are Barbados, Dominica, Guyana, and St. Lucia. To help them care for the crops, farmers are given training in when to spray, what chemical to use, and how to protect themselves.
The day you plant your potatoes, you'd have spent 70% of all your money. And if you don't care it well for the next 12 weeks, you could lose everything.
The training has also built the capacity of farmers who are now providing the service to other farms.
We were able to provide 9 of these guys with pumps, overalls, water boots, and they're now spraying running their own business, providing service to the other farmers.
Training was provided by the Rural Agricultural Development Authority and Level 1 certification by the Heart Trust NTA.
I love it. I feel like a professional already. You understand? So I just wanted to take each step at a time and go forward.
Through the Propel project, farmers are introduced to new technologies that will allow them to reduce production cost, become more efficient, and produce more. This includes plastic mulch, which is a weed control method, and micro greenhouse technology applications. Manual reaping time of potato will also reduce significantly with the introduction of a harvesting machine.
From what I'm seeing, it is quite satisfactory to me, because it is my intention now to make sure I get one of these machines, because I'll be able to plant more potato and I would see a better income for myself.
Minister without portfolio in the Agriculture Ministry, J.C. Hutchinson, was in Manchester for the demonstration of the harvesting machine and acknowledged the work being carried out under the Propel project.
It's one where I think we are going to have to look to see if we can expand that, we get more equipment like that. This technology here is one where you see that it not only facilitates the cutting down on the growth of weeds, which also eliminates quite a lot of the labor. And by doing that, you are also putting more money in your pocket.
The area of research and development is also being strengthened under the Propel project. In May 2016, a Memorandum of Understanding was signed between World University Service of Canada WUSC and the Scientific Research Council SRC. That agreement will build the SRC's capacity to produce clean planting materials for Irish potato, ginger, sweet yam and sweet potato. The agency will be able to supply farmers and companies with virus-free plants and to identify and analyze natural predation for biological control of pests and diseases. There is also partnership with Bodle's Research Station for clean planting materials for ginger. By bringing the different stakeholders on board, the project is creating a sustainable output of planting materials to aid farmers in their production, which should ultimately lead to a steady distribution of produce.
We target the sector. We don't target farmers in particular. We provide stimulus, we provide catalyst to the entire sector for it to move from where it is to where it would like to be. So we don't talk about Propel without talking about SRC, without talking about Bodles, without talking about the Ministry of Agriculture, without talking about RADA.
Mr. Prasad says he is pleased with the strides Jamaica has made with the project.
I'm really very satisfied. Jamaica, for our $87 million that has been contributed so far, I think Jamaica has contributed close to 40 million of that. I mean, I don't have the exact figure, but in terms of production that has reached the high value market, Jamaica has contributed close to 40 million of that. In terms of research and development, in terms of linkages, in terms of getting all people on board to say how do we solve the issues, Jamaica is way ahead of the game.
Jamaica comes alive for Jamaica 55. The Jamaica Information Service is inviting primary, secondary, and tertiary students to catch the vibes and join in the celebration by participating in this year's staging of the JIS Heritage Competition. Primary and prep school children, ages 9 to 12, enter the essay competition and tell us how you would want to see Jamaica in 55 years. High schoolers enter the poster competition. Show us your artistic interpretations of Jamaica throughout her 55 years in a poster titled Jamaica 55. Posters may be designed digitally or illustrated. Zoom, click, snap. Yes, tertiary students, the photo competition is back. Capture an image that best represents Jamaica 55. For more information on the competition rules and how to submit entries, visit the JIS website at www.jis.gov.jm. You may also send an email to heritageessay@jis.gov.jm, heritageposter@jis.gov.jm, or heritagephoto@jis.gov.jm, or call us at 926-3590-4. The deadline for all entries is October 31, 2017. So ready, set, go for prizes galore. JIS Heritage Competition 2017, celebrating Jamaica 55.
This is where the magazine closes for today. If you need more information on International Literacy Day or any other matter mentioned in today's program, click on our webpage, jis.gov.jm. There you may find more information on government programs and policies. For more television features, visit our YouTube channel. We're also on various social media sites. You may also download our app from the Google Play Store to stay informed while you're on the go. I'm Adrian Atkinson. Do have yourselves a safe weekend.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.